Hey, I'm still dancing. I'm still having a great time. How is everybody? Man, we got all the fellas in here. Tremaine, good to see you. Alpha Roo, what's going on? I just responded to one of your comments just a little bit ago. Rawhide Media. I am pumped to be doing a stream here with you and Wildcat Tiff here at 7 p.m. Mountain Time tonight. That's going to be a lot of fun. Y'all be sure to tune in for that. Honored that Rob would have me on his channel. We do that every now and then, and that should be a lot of fun. But man, trying to get the lighting here right. Hope you guys are having a wonderful afternoon. I mean, we got some things to talk about. I kind of wanted to leave this a little open-ended. I had some things that I wanted to get off my chest, give some takes, hear y'all's thoughts as well. But if you got any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer all of them. Of course, as always, if you want to ensure that I see something, y'all be sure to send me a super chat. But hey, here's the deal. We got LaJohntay Wester coming out here, continuing to up the level of talent on this team. Absolutely love it. And one thing that you got to imagine is going to be next is what I'm leading with in the title of this video. That is, we're going to get another linebacker. I love it. Jaylen Wester, okay, from FAU. I don't think he's twins with LaJohntay. They're just brothers. This is going to be awesome. Linebacker is a crucial position of need for us. And LaJohntay Wester is that. I mean, if y'all have been on my live streams the past few days, you've been able to see that I've been talking a little bit about Jaylen Wester, hoping that we could grab him too. And I'm pulling up his statistics right now to not only remind you guys, but remind myself as well, what kind of guy we got here. So hold on really quickly. I'll get a few things off my chest and then get to your questions, okay? I mean, man, oh man, we need a highly graded linebacker. You see, hey, even against some Power 5 opponents, graded out pretty well. And if you want to look at our linebacker play we had this past year, I don't think we had anybody that was getting these types of grades, okay? Big time game against UTSA, which is a big G5 school. They put out great talent. They're winning a lot, okay? But again, let's get into the statistics. Number 1 rated linebacker in the country. You know who's number 2? Oh, well, against the run. You know who's number 2? DJ Lundy. I know, I probably sound like a broken record. Jaylen Wester was number 1. And let me bring up this too, because I wanted to check myself on this, okay? So we should have a few more years of eligibility left, I think 2. On the team website, measurements check out the same. That's what I was looking up. He is 6 feet, 200 pounds. That is something that, if you didn't like Trevor Woods at safety, you might not be thrilled to find out that Jaylen Wester's that size. But at the end of the day, his tackling, he is graded much higher. We need guys. If Michigan taught us anything last night, and they taught us a few things, okay? But one of them was, man, you got to have guys that are wrapping up in the open field. That if those guys catch the ball or if they get outside real quick, you got guys coming up, linebackers, secondary players that are able to bring down the runners immediately. Don't allow all these yards after contact that we saw so much throughout the year. Be interesting. Maybe I take some time later on to go look at like our team grade in terms of our tackling, but I doubt it's anywhere near the high 70s. That's for sure. And TB, a few of you other guys that have been in the chat have brought this up. It's important that for our linebackers to succeed, to reach their potential, to reach that next level, for that group to show improvement this next season, regardless of who's in there, in the starting lineup. We need a defensive line that is doing their job. That's clogging holes. That's making the job easier for the linebacker to come up and make that play. We have a decent start to that on the inside right now with Chidozie. Wankwo coming over here. We still need, another couple guys. But this would allow some people that, Amari McNeil, a guy that I felt like really improved this past year. I think it would allow him to kind of be in more of a rotational role that suits him well for right now. It allows somebody like Shane Cokes to kind of step down into a rotational role that he's probably better suited for. Same with Anquin Barnes, okay? I really like the potential, but again, we just don't know. He's played 7 snaps in college football. But let's take a look at this. 7 quarterback pressures, 40 tackles on the year, 13 assists, 6 missed tackles. Okay. It happens. What is this stop statistic? Never even seen this one. Defensive stops, tackles that constitute a failure for the offense. Hey, that's a pretty cool stat. 27th of those. Those are ending drives. Love to see that. A little suspect, looks like, in the receiving game. So 19 targets, allowed 17 receptions. That's interesting. NFL passer rating 105.3. All right. But he does have a touchdown. Oh, no, gave up 1 touchdown in coverage. I'm sorry, y'all. But a nice pass breakup. Defensive alignment, you can align him kind of anywhere. About 50-50 in the box versus slot. And then when he's lined up in the defensive line, it's been more so of an outside guy. So I would imagine, just taking a very brief look at this, that, hey, you probably want him in there primarily to stop the run. You think with like a physical archetype that he has, 6 feet, 200 pounds, speedy guy, from what I understand, you would think that he would be a little bit more sure in pass coverage. I'll have to turn on the tape once I get some of this all 22 tape here for the 2023 season and see kind of what was going on here with this high completion percentage. But if he's going to be an undersized linebacker, you would definitely hope that he would serve well in the passing game as well. Because I think ideally, you would want a guy like DJ Lundy paired with another, a fast run stopping linebacker like Jaylen Wester that can also cover. So, overall, I think was rated just like his brother, ironically, the number 31 overall linebacker in college football. So, that's kind of interesting. But let's take a look at Trevor Woods and maybe Bentley, just to kind of have an idea of like, okay, what was the production that we're getting? Trevor Woods, 6'2", 205. We saw him move to linebacker, I think, at the USC game. I want to say that. 12 missed tackles. Rated pretty low in run defense. Again, in my opinion, he was playing out of position. So maybe Trevor Woods moves back to safety. If not, hopefully he puts on a little bit more weight, because he was definitely targeted. This kind of backs up what I was saying, in these games against Oregon State and Arizona, they were running at his side the whole time. That was tough. Let's take a look at Bentley, see where he graded out. Bentley only had 8 missed tackles. That kind of surprises me. Better in the run category than Trevor Woods, but still, a grade of 47, that's not much. But again, guys, if we had better defensive line play, we probably see all these guys grade out better and have some better statistics. But yeah, missed tackle percentage, 10% of his tackles were missed. Trevor Woods, 15.6% of his tackles were missed. And Jaylen Wester, 10%. So it's going to be interesting, y'all. It's going to be interesting to see how he does if he comes here, which I'm assuming he will, how he does at the next level. But I like that, hey, we got some years with him. Because I think Lundy is just a one and done, right? Anyways, I love what we're doing. We're not done yet. We still got 5 spots to fill out. But I'm going to start up at the top. Again, if you want to ensure that I see one of your questions, feel free to send a super chat. David, should we keep adding receivers? Right now I feel like we're good. Okay. As long as we don't have any guys transferring out. Now I have wondered, okay, will we see Jordan Onavue or Jacob Page or that guy that we got from played in Florida? Why am I forgetting his name? Isaiah Harge, right? Might those guys go somewhere else for another opportunity? It's hard for me to see them getting much time on the field right now unless they take a big jump. That could very well happen, though. Plenty of 3-star guys become really productive college football players, but this room is looking stacked right now. Another guy that I've been wondering about just kind of offhand right now is Adam Hopkins. Kind of what is the plan with him? Where does he fall? I would assume that he's moved over to corner, but if you look at the cornerback room right now, I mean, is he right there with at cornerback 5, 6, or 7? At wide receiver, he's probably even lower right now on the depth chart. I'm not really sure what the plan is for him or where he stands. He's another guy that I feel like, man, he might just be in no man's land right now. I would still love to have him on the team, but if some of these guys that I just listed jump in the portal, at some point when it opens back up, I totally get it. No hard feelings. Hey, appreciate the love. Florida Natural. What's up, CU Buffs Dynasty? Bodie, everybody's here in the chat. I absolutely love it. I'm not okay. Jay, we need to reject modernity and run the triple option. Holy moly, that is quite a take. Could we run the triple option with Walter Taylor at quarterback? I think so. Now, Rawhide disagrees with me on this one, but I think, hey, with Walter Taylor, 6'7", 250 guy coming out here to compete for that number 2 quarterback position right now, you could use him in some packages similar to how we've seen Cam Newton, but also with, what do you guys call it? The brotherly shove, right? Is that the correct term without sounding too zesty? The brotherly shove. Imagine in some short yardage situations, right? We just have Walter Taylor take that snap, sneak it in there, just like Jalen Hurts. I think we got more of the personnel to do it now. All right. Hey, D-Time, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Always really do appreciate it. And hey, how about Miller Moss? Was that his name? Quarterback that lit it up for y'all in the bowl game? How about that? David, what's Shiloh rank in tackling? Is he a legitimate NFL safety today, or does he need more development? I think he is an NFL safety. I don't think he's a day 1 or day 2 safety. I'm thinking he's probably a guy that you pick up in the 5th, 6th, or 7th round, depending on what you're really bringing him in to do. But, I don't think he has enough speed to kind of play that, like that Ed Reed type role where, he's ball hawking. That from my understanding, that's more of the free safety role, is that, you do a whole bunch of things. Now, is the NFL moving more in a way in which you need both of your safeties to be really stout in coverage? Yes. And that's why I think you see somebody like Shiloh more so a day 3 pick. But hey, let's see how he graded out. This will be kind of fun. Okay. Give me 1 second, D time. All right, we're gonna go here to the safeties. We're gonna find Colorado. So yeah, this is kind of where we're at right now. For what it's worth, I've kind of thought Roderick Ward is like a late day 3 guy. So, but Shiloh Sanders ranked 227th in the entire nation. And hey, surprisingly a little bit better in coverage than in run defense. Maybe that's because we've seen some inconsistencies with Shiloh, in open field tackling, like what I was talking about. We need to make sure we improve this year. But graded out very nicely this year. I think 227 is a great number. Okay. And I mean, lined up kind of everywhere. Oh, I guess he lined up more at free safety. See, I thought he played more of the strong position, though. Where did they have Rod Ward at? Free safety. So I don't get that. Maybe they just mean safety. But let's go to the premium stats too and see what that's all about. All right, here we go. Yeah, graded out 71.1 in tackling. Hey, a little bit higher of a percentage than we saw that we were looking at, but 12.5 missed tackle percentage. I think he did have a handful of PBUs. Yeah, he had 3. He had an interception. I remember his pick 6 against Colorado State, and yeah, he kind of lined up everywhere, but mainly at safety. Did play a little bit of slot as well, but I don't know. Like, I know he's already a little bit older of a college football player, so I don't know like how much development is left for somebody at the college level. But I do think that he's an NFL draft pick. I don't think a very high one compared to some other people, but hey, he very well could be drafted ahead of maybe if you were looking at a player like this without the Sanders name, right? Because there is going to be fanfare that is going to happen when you have somebody with the name of Shiloh Sanders coming to your team. So I think a guy like Shiloh could benefit from that. And it's why I don't see him going undrafted or anything like that. I think he's definitely an NFL type player, but, um, you know, that's kind of where I view him right now. I'm going to do a show with NFL draft scout Bill Carroll. It's been forever since I've had him on the show, but I'm going to have him on Thursday night, I think at 7 Mountain Time. So this will be a player that we'll definitely talk about because I thought that if I remember correctly, he was saying that he saw Shiloh Sanders right now as a day 2 safety. So what do I know? Whoa! Whoa! It's looking like Rex Ryan is gonna be our DC. Wait, what? Dude, hide your kids. Hide. No, I'm just playing. Hide your toes. That's what I meant to say. Hide your toes. Hide your feet. All that. Um, he better not be saying anything about Coach Prime's feet if that's the case. But hey, let me open up Twitter. Rex Ryan. I'm looking right now. Man, who's saying Rex Ryan? I'm searching now on Twitter. But if I mean, I love his personality. I think he's great. I would absolutely love it. I mean, he's defensive mastermind. Hey, check this out. I mean, why don't we just share this? Why the Pats will defeat the Jets. It's a nice meme right there. But yeah, anyways, I'm wondering what he could do with our personnel right now. I would imagine that he would want to get some I guess Buffed Up TV has kind of been talking about it a little bit. So maybe where that's came from. Maybe he's got a little birdie telling him something. I got no idea. But I mean, that would be an exciting thing, in terms of competency. Um, I don't think I would have any hesitancies there. So a lot of these guys that have been brought up with NFL experience, I'm totally fine with. I would be happy with. There's a lot of ways to where I feel good about this thing. There are a lot of candidates I'm going to be great with. Rex Ryan would be one of them. I would kind of fit him in that same kind of category, like we've talked about a guy like Ken Norton Jr., Mike Zimmer out there. Right now, again, I think out of the names that have been rumored, I still prefer Jim Leonard. Alpha Rue, I know I heard you the other day, saying you gotta understand, even though he had the top defenses in the country or whatever, it was in the Big Ten. Yes, you're totally right. The Big Ten is not known for the air raid offense. They're not putting up crazy offensive numbers. But what I'm trying to get at is that Wisconsin never recruits like Michigan or Ohio State or Penn State within that conference. For them to be that productive, you have to imagine that guys are getting coached up, they're being developed, and there is a certain level of, and in my opinion, a high level of competency when you're able to get that sort of production. Would that drop if they were facing more electric offenses, unlike the ones like Minnesota and Iowa and Indiana and University of Illinois and Northwestern? Yes. That'd be interesting. Rex Ryan. All right, scrolling through some more of these. But it would be nice to get another running back. I'm just going to be honest. We're at 4. It's not a huge priority for me right now. If me being armchair GM, I was seeing some comments earlier today. They're like, David, are you ever grateful for any of the players that are brought in here? David, you're just talking bad about all the players that came in here last year. No. I'm grateful for everybody that spends time here with the Buffs, as long as they're not going to pout their way out of here. But we got to develop these levels, okay? These levels of talent. That's why we can't be satisfied yet. Thank you for that clarification. Trevor moved to linebacker at the UCLA game. Y'all think Dawson's going to leave? I hope Dawson sticks around, man. I like having Wester, Horn, Dawson. That's a very solid 3 in the slot. David, do you agree with this? Travis Hunter snap count has to get lowered on both sides of the ball. Can't have Travis at the players that are coming in. Can't have Travis play that many snaps with the players coming in. Yeah, maybe. I think that is something to watch. Kind of how we keep them on a pitch count, so to like a season-long pitch count, like what some baseball teams do with pitchers after they have Tommy John surgery or whatever. It would be very interesting. I've said this before. We can't have him playing 160 snaps game. That can't happen again. But when I think about it, okay, is there any guy right now on defense that I feel like, hey, you swap him out with Travis Hunter and you're not really losing much? I don't feel that way. And do I feel that way at wide receiver? I feel better with Will Shepherd here, right? Cardell. I was going to say Cardell Jones. Baby T.O. Cordell. Why am I forgetting his name? Anyways, y'all know who I'm talking about. I still feel like there's a significant drop off there. So I would still like to see him playing like 100 snaps, honestly. Maybe that's not a popular decision. Trevor Woods will be an ace on special teams. I love it. Whoops. Hold up really quick. Let's send out a text message real quick. Okay. Going through some more. Yeah, y'all let me know if you got any more questions. I'll go here for about 10 more minutes. Baby girl, good to see you. I tried to make you an admin and then I searched your name and then I couldn't find it, or like a moderator. So that's why you don't see it. I don't know how to fix it. I wonder if Rob Ryan will come with it. Hey, Rob Ryan can coach those linebackers up, right? Rex kind of old. Yeah, he's real old. That's why I want Jim Leonard here. Let's get some guy, that I know this sounds bad, but we're not going to have to worry about having any heart attacks. Rex Ryan not coming to see you. The man said it himself. Y'all come on here spreading information and misinformation all day. But I would say I agree with Zion here. Jim Leonard, priority number one. I love it. The old whites. Did I say something about the old whites? What we really need is some new coach announcements. D Viola. I got to tell you, like I have been patiently waiting. I've been a good and faithful servant doing this thing. And you think I would have had enough good karma saved up with Coach Prime and the rest of the staff and the football guys to where we could get that announcement. Hopefully it happens soon. His dad said he is not leaving. Which dad? Which player are you talking about? Stretch it out. Bro, we have 20 wide receivers. At some point, you have to decry your talent. That's a part of the job. Yeah, that's why, some guys probably got to go. Well, I got no problem bringing in guys who are better than pretty much everybody we got on the roster. We'll see if that comes true or not. When was the last time Rex Ryan coached? Yeah, forever ago. But he did interview for the Broncos DC role last year. I'm sure you know that, Zion. TB, how's it going, man? Y'all go subscribe to TB. Jim Leonard is a younger Rex Ryan with the defense and without a foot fetish, from what we know. It's a big deal. All right. Yeah. Y'all feel free to ask me any more comments or just give me kind of your take on things. Who's next? What do you want to see next for Colorado? What's our next move? We've talked about defensive coordinator. We've talked about offensive coordinator. We haven't talked much about kickers, in a while, but hey, let's talk about this. Kenobi. If you're Coach Prime, would you hire a different linebackers coach? And this is an interesting one. I've heard other channels talking about this a little bit, and maybe my opinion's changed. So if you're going to bring in a guy like Jim Leonard, okay, he probably would want somebody on his staff to bring, or that he's bringing over, and maybe multiple guys. I don't think that happens for a full defensive staff because, we've seen guys already hired, such as Warren Sapp, right? We've seen Coach Dancy elevated up to coaching the edges. But hey, if Jim Leonard's really interested in this thing and he's like, guys, like, I want to be here, but these are the names that I want to bring in to coach the secondary and the linebackers. Business is business, man. Business is business. But right now, there's some guys that I'm willing to give another year with. Like that is Coach Hart, Mathis, Flea, particularly those guys. I would have liked to see why why is his name Trevor Riley. I would have liked to see us move on from Trevor Riley, honestly. I know he was an analyst, but he was the guy overseeing special teams this year, and it was an absolute disaster. So I don't know. But hopefully Jim Leonard can also coach special teams because we need a guy that can do that. And y'all be sure to go check out TB's channel when this is over here in a few minutes. I love TB's channel. It's awesome. Rex Ryan plus Sal equals great well-off media content. No doubt about it. And then you add Warren Sapp in there. I like it. Should Shane Cokes move to defensive end? Probably. Zion saying next move should be defensive tackle, tight end, and edge rusher. It would be nice to get another edge rusher in here. Defensive tackle, I think right now has to be the number one priority. And I keep forgetting about tight end. I know that we've offered that JUCO tight end that I can't even name. But yeah, I would also like to see another offensive tackle added. I feel like we're set at safety right now, especially if Carter Stoutmeyer ends up moving over to safety. I like Shiloh. I like Cameron Silman-Craig. I like Slush. Jane Milner-Jones had a good first year, so I feel like we got good enough depth at that position right now. Oh, thanks for answering me, Stretch. Tarvarge Dawson, his dad's saying that he's staying. Good. I love it. There are going to be some guys that are here for it, man, that are here for the competition, right? That are going to better themselves. There are other guys, man, that some guys that don't want to be here and compete. And then there are also some guys that can just see writing on the wall, man. Like they're going to get no time here. So this is what I hate about some of this college football stuff too. When certain guys transfer out, it's like, man, you were scared of competition. You're scared of competition. You're going away from the grind. Man, if you are number 15 on the depth chart, like, don't you just want to get on the field? You only have a certain amount of eligibility left. Okay. I'm not going to fault you for that. I don't think Doss has been crying about PT, but maybe I missed it. But hey, as long as you don't do a 20-minute Instagram live, again, the threshold is just so small. It's so low. The bar is just so low about just don't do this. And you'll probably be okay. Eric, David, from last year's team, who do you think who will need to make the biggest improvement? Cormani McLean. Absolutely. And a lot of that has to do with the expectation that's put on him. We have hedged ourselves a little bit with bringing in DJ. Let's see, I can't remember anybody's last name today. DJ whatever from Oklahoma State. We also still got Omarion Cooper, who I thought played well last year. Given circumstances, and hey, we do need Cormani to take that jump his sophomore year. He made some good plays, some some good open field tackles, forced a fumble, right? But then we also saw him get totally dominated, with certain runs being run directly at him. I mean, just falling over with guys blocking him. I mean, just looked to me like he was giving very poor effort. And I mean, we saw him get burned on some routes. Now that again, in college football, you're going to get beat. That's just how it is. But we need Cormani to do better, no doubt. So that's a defensive player. On the offensive side of the ball, I guess I'll say Savion Washington. We need him to improve. He played, in my opinion, he played very well those first few games before his ankle injury. I think some of y'all have stated that as well. Guys, he was playing with half an ankle the majority of the year. I mean, you saw what happened when Isaiah Jada got in the game. I mean, guys, like before he could even get up out of his stance, guys were already around him, going through him untouched. There was no other good option to have at right tackle. A Savion Washington at 50% for the majority of the year was better than everything else that we had. That is very clear. That is very clear. We need Savion Washington to continue to improve. He's got a real offensive line coach now, thank God. So I think he will. But again, I think some of y'all are a little too quick to just write him off because you saw him essentially playing with one leg last year because that's how terrible our offensive line depth was. All right. Who's the QB, tight end, and special teams coach? Great questions. I would imagine whoever's offensive coordinator will also be functioning as the quarterback coach. Tight ends, maybe it is Andrew Zimmer. You know, that's been a little rumored with one of the tight ends posting that he got an offer from Andrew Zimmer. He's an analyst right now on the staff, I believe. And special teams coach, no idea. It might happen again where we have nobody on the official coaching roster that is responsible for the special teams. That concerns me if that does not change. I'm hoping that it does, but you know, Lex told me this earlier on when we were going through the coaching staff in the season. She said, this team plays like they don't have a special teams coach. You betcha. But will we see a tight end coach come here? Right now, we do have two scholarship tight ends, if I remember correctly, Zion, because Luis Passarello is still on the roster, missed most of the season last year because of injury, but it would be him and Shimon Mateer as the only two scholarship tight ends that we have. So maybe you just have Coach Lodeholt teach him how to block, have Brett Bartoloni with the wide receivers teach him how to catch. Boom. Simple, right? All I'm saying is don't be surprised if Rex Ryan is our DC. He's a great friend to Coach Prime. I didn't know he was cool with Coach Prime. So that's cool. But yeah, give me Jim Leonard. Let's see here. I'm walking on at CU this year. Can you kick kickoffs? Can you do that? A little bit different of a question, slightly different, a little nuanced question. What player do you see taking that next step? Very interesting. Let's stick with special teams. Mata, improve that leg strength, get that distance. You already got the accuracy. I would love to see him do that. Another guy that I think would really help the defense out if they took next steps. Well, two guys would be Amari McNeil on the defensive line and Arden Walker at the edge group. Right now, we got Keaton Wade and Okunloa is probably our best edge rushers and most productive. I'd put Arden Walker right there. I think he was the edge that showed the most improvement over the year this past season. And then we also got an LSU guy, Quincy Wiggins, coming over here, former top 50 high school recruit. That would be great if he could make that next jump. But who do I foresee making that next jump? I'll say Omari McNeil and Arden Walker, those guys. I do see them improving. We have three coaches right now dedicated to, like, the defensive front area with Sal Sunseri, Warren Sapp, and Coach Dancy with the edges. So if we don't see these guys improving, that's a major issue. That's a systematic failure. I don't see that happening, though. I see these guys continuing to take that next step. I really like Arden Walker. Dylan Edwards, over 4 TDs on the season. Over, but under 10. Yeah, I have high hopes for Cormani. All right, y'all. Appreciate the love, Sir Ken. Yeah, y'all hit that like. Always means a lot. Is Taj gone? Have a breakout. Oh, yeah, he's gone. So, or no, Taj gonna have a breakout. Sorry. Is Taj Alston still on the team? I thought he was out of eligibility. Yeah. I think he's out of eligibility. I think he's gone. Oh, Taj McCoy. Yeah, I totally forgot about him. Yeah, he's another edge guy that could take that step and become a productive rotational player for this team. We didn't see him on the field much. Dave, did you see Anquan Barnes' practice film? No, I have not. Please tag me on Twitter if you're on Twitter 6, and I'll check it out. But haven't seen his tape, and that's why I'm just like, my expectations are very tempered right now. But I mean, hey, we saw a lot of practice this year, and myself included, I thought we had a lot more All-Americans on this roster than what we had. And I would love to see Taj McCoy from I think he's coming over here from Oklahoma. If a guy like Victory Johnson or Morgan Pearson could take that jump and become a productive player in the linebacker group. Again, the linebacker group right now outside of DJ Lundy feels very meh. So we're just going to have to see, what happens there. Okay, guys. Thank you so much, Bodie, for the super chat. Means a lot. Again, if you guys want some fun emojis, y'all want exclusive access to, some members only posts that I might do every now and then. Really, the big thing is that, hey, you get really cool emojis, and I see your stuff a lot more frequently in the chat. Feel free to join the membership channel. The fellas for $4.99, baby. Like, that's what I'm talking about. But overall, let's continue to develop the guys that we have. We are going to see freshmen from this past year take that step, or transfers that came in here take that step. I think we got better coaching staff, depending on how these coordinators turn out. I mean, we know we got a better coaching staff when it comes to the offensive line. So we'll just have to see. All right, guys. I'm going to be back with Rawhide again later today. So y'all be sure to check that out. Again, if I'm sure TB has, something fun planned, whether it's video games or a panel, but y'all go check out his channel and subscribe as well. And I appreciate you guys. Until next time, y'all, Go Buffs.